My dear friends, I'm super excited being here with you today, and it's been a ride this year, and we are starting almost the new year, and this is also why I'm shooting you this video. And the title is really The Way of the Turtle and Start Over and Have Fun This Time. As you know, we all know, life can become sometimes a hustle, bustle, and we try to, pace forward. I'm very good at this. My last 20 years really were like this. Not always, but a lot of times I was just trying to get ahead faster than other people. But especially the last, I would say 5 6 years or maybe 10 years, really like that. I just feel like I'm trying to playing catch with myself and trying to see if I can get faster somewhere than previously. So it's good to have challenges, but also good to be smart with your time and how you actually entertain yourself during this time is so important. Having fun is really important. So I want you to do an audit now and really look at how much fun you had this year. What were the moments? Where did you really spend your time and how could you actually improve it and spend it better maybe in the coming year? And especially maybe you watch this at the start of the year or perhaps before the end of the year, but I want to encourage you to really do this diligent work because a lot of times we just go through life and we're like, oh yes, again, new year, I will do this, I will do that, but then we really don't do it just because we don't have the pillars and the structure and strategy supporting it. So we want to avoid that. We want to make sure that we really do this audit of activities we are doing, how much time we are spending, where we're going. And journaling is a great activity to help you in that and to really make you a little bit more diligent with your time and where you're going with your life and really smiling along the way. I just want to make sure that this is the message you understand that the way of the turtle, and let me just backtrack a little bit, is really a concept that I have developed years ago when we were hiking with my girlfriend and there was this board somewhere in the middle of a forest which said, hey, please let us know if you find our missing turtle. And I was thinking, man, who would go there with a turtle? Perhaps they went to walk with it and it just escaped. Who knows? But it gave me this idea and completely different idea than I was thinking. I was thinking, turtle, incredible animal, resilient. What is the symbol? And I started digging deeper and I realized, hey, I really like this association with how much time it takes for a turtle to come to this forest, for example, or in general. I mean, turtle, and we were last year in a prison island in Zanzibar where I saw the longest living turtle according to those people living there, 197 years old. And it was amazing to touch a turtle like that. And I always really admired things and people who live long, like my fiance's grandma who just passed away before 100 years old. And I'm a big advocate of longevity. For some reason, I believe I'm gonna live forever, like probably a lot of you. And having that mindset gives you a lot of advantages because you kind of go through the motion sometimes, and you know that playing the long game can really help you. And that's why I developed this way of the turtle concept. Doesn't matter how fast you go as long as you keep going, never stop. So I want you to dive into this audit. You're doing that and you think like, what did I learn from the last 10 years? What were the lessons? What were the setbacks? I call it the wins, walls, and wisdoms. I borrowed this from my dear friend Dean. And it's really about what works for you, what is the struggle, and how to get around it. What were the lessons learned, or what are the lessons learned? And apply this, for this exercise. And it's really look at the beauty you have in life. What are you learning? How are you learning? Where can you learn better? And then the second part, I want you to really think, what are the people in your life? Who are those people? And how are they adding value to you? And how are you adding value to them? A lot of times when I was doing this exercise in the last 10 years, I would figure that I have people in my life that in these three buckets: historical friends, maintenance friends, and growth friends. And in the past, I was hanging out a lot with the maintenance and historical friends, but over a period of time, I figured that I really want to have more of these growth friends in my life. And growth friends are people like you and me who are interested in personal development, who are good human beings, kind, and who see better and brighter future for themselves. They don't complain, maybe sometimes we all do, but who generally are really striving to have better life, and not just for themselves but to make this world a better place. And these people are inspiring. They are like-minded individuals who actually try to really lead by example. And I decided I want to have more of these friends. So I want you to go back to the exercise and think about, who are these people in your life? Are they positive? Are they cheerful? Are they having fun? Or are they actually people that always complain? And you are actually the anchor for them. You're always keeping them going, and they always know that they can come to you. I just had a discussion the other day with a neighbor, and I know that he likes to come to visit us because we have this positive energy, and because he's a nice guy, we are nice people, but because he struggles, and it's probably good to be around people who are always seeing the positive things. And why I'm talking about this is because this can make really a big difference in your career, in your personal life, and in where you're going with your mission. If you haven't thought about what are my top life goals, then I urge you as well to use this time of the year or beginning of the year to think about your top 5 goals, life goals, maybe financial freedom, resilient leader, maybe building business, being a resilient ninja, learning skills, whatever that is for you. But have that, remind yourself that you maybe want to be the humble humanitarian, sorry, that word's quite difficult for me, being, like someone who gives, who cares. Because in the end, if you think about your deathbed, you're probably not gonna think so much about what you earned and how much you worked. You're gonna think about the people you impact, whether you, as Brandon Burchard said, lived, loved, and mattered. So I want you to think about that, but also think about what people can you include in your life. Maybe there are people that you haven't spoken to for a long time. So I want you to really reconnect, maybe send some messages to your friends, to your family, and with this positivity in mind, say, not to beat them, hey, you haven't contacted me or you didn't respond to my last message, but really to reconnect and think, okay, how can they actually, where are they, and can they add value, or can we add value to each other on our growth journeys? And if you don't have those people, then join me, join the resilient tribe of hardcore high performers. I'm sure a lot of people have, like myself, sometimes hardcore focus, but it's really about people who are kind human beings and who play the long game. It's not just doing one push-up today or 100 push-ups today or 500 push-ups. It's really, can you sustain 150 burpees over the coming years every week for years to come, to build strength, build resilience, build your muscle density, and that takes time. Muscle building muscles, it takes time and takes years. So that's the kind of second part of the thing before you audit and then really be part of the group. How can you be? How can you go from me to we to the group thing? And for that, you need the right people. You need people you can trust, and then, allow yourself time to get to know people, become a networker. If you want more tips on this, please reach out, because I believe network is really your net worth, as Chris Harron says. So really go about your life like that, with this positivity, and be the shining beacon, but also be so smart and focused on these people as well. Don't always be the smartest person in the room. Try to seek rooms with brighter, smarter, more cheerful people. And the last part, I want you to go higher. I want you to really, as a real turtle, to have this growth mindset and to aim to go places. And maybe, it doesn't have to be big. It might be that you want to finally, pay the debt for your kid, or you might want to save maybe for a college fund, or perhaps you want to finally buy the car that you always told yourself, but you never actually put down the money on your bank account to save for it in the next 10 years. Do it. All these hard things we always say we will do require effort, require energy, and require dedication. So do that today. And believe me, when you go with the growth mindset, learner's mindset, You can deal with setbacks, failures, and however you name it more effectively, because you know that making mistakes, it's, you know, failing, it's actually a way to figure stuff out. That's the necessary process to get where you're going. And when we aim for the stars, we often land on the moon, right? So have stretch goals. Maybe you don't want to be a millionaire. Maybe you want to buy the dream car. Maybe you want to buy the dream house. You don't have to be like everybody else, but have your goals. Make it true to you. Make it real for you and work that. Achieve that. Smile and be the person who actually is cheerful and have fun. That's how we started. I'm just gonna sidetrack a little bit. And you know, when I lived in the Netherlands, and for those that don't know my journey, I am Eastern European kid, lived in the Netherlands, lived in Spain, lived in Germany, and I never really thought about stress so much. But if I think about it, stress was quite central in my life. Insecurity, anxiety, just because I needed to survive. My dad gave me 50 euro. He said good luck, and I know he wasn't didn't mean any harm, but it meant that I was overly reliant and overly independent. But a lot of times I had this intense focus and this intensity, although I had fun along the way. When I think about it now, probably I would enjoy my life a little more when I would have more fun. And this is kind of the period I'm in now where I'm thinking, hey, in the next 10 years, I want to have really a lot of fun. I want to be double the times grateful, or 10 times more thankful for my life, and really even more kinder than I was before. And it's incredible if you can play this game with yourself to challenge yourself and be this human being who thinks bigger. And having fun, it's something that we ignore so much just because we want to do something that is always, you know, easy, and we think that fun comes from easy stuff. But no, fun comes often down through mindset and awareness and perspective in times that are challenging. And we are heading in towards period, even now we are in period which is insecure because of inflation, rising gas prices or energy prices, food prices, travel tickets, everything you can imagine, plus insecurity of job, wars, and, you know, economic decline. And we really don't know, although we think what's gonna come, we are not certain. We are just behind the pandemic, and for a lot of countries now, finally the masks were removed, and it's been hard. It's been hard for a lot of us, and for that we need to be kind to ourselves first, because probably if you're here, you're like myself, you like to beat yourself up because you haven't had that yet, you haven't accomplished that yet, because you're not like those people. And it's not even that you compare yourself actively, but maybe you have another driver. Perhaps, like myself, you had a tough childhood, you were bullied, you were miserable, you were scrawny, you were picked at, and now you use it as a driver to actually go further in life, to build the lifestyle for yourself, which maybe other people will envy. And not that you do it with that focus, but somewhere deep inside, you know, you need to do the deep work on yourself to do things for the right reasons. And sometimes it served you well to build your lives like this, based on, you know, paying it back to other people. Even if you never see those bullies again, you know, hatred will not get as far. And you see it now in Ukraine, and it's beautiful to see when you see the war prisoners that Ukrainians capture. You know, they treat them with dignity, and they give them food, and they send them back, unlike what we see what Russians are doing. And that, not to get too political, but you see in the world scene and how the leaders in a country can really dictate how democracy and versus, you know, dictatorship can really mean a difference. And we really need leaders. We need leaders who are radiating positivity, making sure that they manage their insecurity and actually anxiety and stress in the times when it's needed, like we see now in a war, or even wherever you are. end of the year, just making sure that you dial it in and you said, hey, I will finish those projects in the future. I will draw a better map for next years to come because I really want to be a better human being and get there faster. So guys, I always believe that there's a lot of potential, and as Tom Bilyeu always says, the human potential is nearly limitless. You need to be hard um, sometimes in your resolve. That means say yes toward things that are uncomfortable. And so say no to things like Netflix and other things in order to watch this video and think about your future. But I can tell you from my experience for the last, 2 decades, spending time on this topic, fitness, health, mindset, relationships, different tools to use, and resilience really showed me that it really pays off. There is no other reward than working on yourself. It's not an overnight success. I see it in my blog. I've been writing for years. I'm earning some money of it, but it's not like, where I want it to be. But I do it because I want to make an impact. I do it because I know that people out there can read it and they say, hey, this is me. I'm stressed in the morning and kids running around, and I needed just a minute to myself to read this blog just to gain strength and gain maybe this spark of hope for the day when things go sideways, that I regain momentum and then I don't get sidetracked and don't let it bury me. So if this is you, and I know this is you because you're here, you're positive, inspiring human being who wants to make an impact, you're unique. So I encourage you to finish the year strong and start the next year and the coming years really with this zest, with your interest and necessity and drive to really make things happen. And when you do that, your life will become a masterpiece. So stay awesome, stay legendary, and take care of yourself.